Here now to react is Anthony Tata, retired Brigadier General and best-selling author of Reaper, Ghost Target. General, thank you for being here. That was an extraordinary press conference of our new Secretary of State, and I want to play a little soundbite, which needs to be unwrapped by you. Let's just play the soundbite of Pompeo. Go ahead.
If North Korea takes bold action to quickly denuclearize, the United States is prepared to work with North Korea to achieve prosperity on the par with our South Korean friends.
That last part is extraordinary. The fact that we want to turn North Korea into what South Korea has become. I mean, that's extraordinary. Is it possible, first of all?
Well, David, it makes complete sense to me. They're the same people. I've been in the DMZ. I've been in South Korea as a lieutenant, a captain, a general, and there are many families that are split by that 38th parallel. And so it makes sense that, South Korea is an economic powerhouse built in our image of a capitalist society. Yeah. And there's no reason that these people in North Korea, given the right tools, can't do the same thing.
But there's a question of how
it
would be an absolute complete transformation of North Korea, because when you look at a nighttime satellite photo of the Korean Peninsula and you see a black North Korea and a lit South Korea, I don't know if you can tell, but China's on the left, South Korea's on the right, and North Korea's the black space in the middle. The only point of light is the capital of North Korea. How long would it be to turn that around?
Well, you'd have a lot of infrastructure building to do, and of course, that would be good for business, and President Trump is all about business. And so, there's some opportunities here. And the important thing to remember here, David, is that Kim Jong-un came to power with two visions in mind. One was to be a nuclear power. One was to be an economic power. His father and grandfather only came with one vision. The grandfather to be a self-reliant regime, right. The father to have a powerful military. Kim Jong-un may have come to power willing to trade away one of these two items, and obviously if
it's a big gamble. You may be absolutely right, and let's hope you are right, because it would be tremendous to have a peaceful peninsula rather than one that's been at war since the 1950s. But you think about the North Korean military, it's not just the nukes. They have 1.2 million men under arms. They have thousands of tanks and artillery pieces, et cetera. Do you think that Kim would be willing to give all that up?
Well, I think the artillery pieces are the key there. Every simulation we've ever run is they're the threat. They're the threat to Seoul. 20 million people under the umbrella of North Korean artillery across the border. So all of that has to be on the table. And we're getting the detainees back is a very good first step.
It
shows that they're serious. I was a cadet at West Point, David, when the U.S. hostages in Iran came back and were kept at West Point and debriefed there. And what a remarkable moment. What a remarkable achievement.
It was similar to
for
that.
Secretary
That's
Pompeo
a very good
and
analogy.
President Trump.
Yeah.
That's right. That's exactly right. And it's very similar. And so that's a very good first step. And the next step now is to have this meeting in Singapore and lay out a timeline. And I'll tell you what, if we start to denuclearize North Korea and build infrastructure in North Korea, what a great opportunity for the world. And you can get, we've applied diplomatic, information, military, and economic power to achieve this. You have China and Russia voting yes on sanctions. I mean, they usually abstain when they agree with us. I mean,
well, like the end of the Soviet Union, it's something I never thought I would see in my lifetime. General, I'm sorry, because of breaking news, we got to end it there. But great to have you on. Please come back and see us soon.